Welcome to CIT 180 Web Development. I am your instructor, Lisa Ballback, and I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the course, and we will talk about what you need to do for the first week of class. At the top of the course, you'll notice we have some buttons that take you to helpful learning resources. So as the semester progresses, we'll be looking at some of these resources. And so I've got these links up here for easy access. Below that is a link for the live stream office hours. And because a lot of my courses have due dates of Sunday night at 11:59 p.m., I have a fairly large chunk of office hours from 7 to 10 p.m. on Sunday. So if you are trying to get an assignment done and you are having trouble, please come into the live stream office hours so I can help you. I also have office hours Monday and Wednesday from 5:15 to 6:15. This link will take you right into the office hours. Then below that are the news and announcements from me. So what I typically post here are basically information that you need to know to complete assignments, or once I correct your work that was due, I will post an announcement indicating that, all the work from week 3 or lesson 3 has been corrected. That way, to come out here and look to see if you missed any points. Because part of learning in computer classes is correcting your errors. And I let students fix the errors and resubmit assignments once for rescoring. So even if you miss points, you can fix the problems and then resubmit to get those points back. Below that, it's a forum for you guys to share information with each other. This is not a forum that I typically go into. So if you have questions about the course or course content, make sure you email me directly or come into the office hours and ask. That's the way you will get your questions answered the quickest. Below that are links to the CIT department's social media sites, and things that we typically post at these sites are activities that we are doing throughout the semester and job or internship opportunities. So it is really a good idea to follow us on one of the platforms that are listed. Let's see. In the sidebar, in case you can't remember what my office hours are, I have them listed along with the office phone and my email. I also have my LinkedIn profile. If you want to know more information about me, you can click on that. And assuming that you have a LinkedIn account, you certainly can kind of look through here and see what my background is. I've got my certifications in here, all that kind of fun stuff. And then down at the bottom, I also have a link to my success. So if you need any kind of advising help, you can click on this and schedule an appointment. Below that is our student spotlight. And so one of the first assignments that you guys are going to be doing is creating your own entry for this. So I always do one and then you guys will all do one. And the cool thing about this is every time you come into class, you will see information about somebody else that's in our class. So that brings me to lesson 1. So lesson 1 at the top of the block, it pretty much shows you everything you need to do this week. Okay, so I have the dates listed, and then these are all the orientation activities, and then here's our first lesson. Watching the video is key. That is the first thing that you should do. And then after that, you'll read the welcome message, look at the syllabus, and you'll notice if you scroll down that things are very linear in this class. Like you do the first thing, then you do the second thing, then you do the third thing. I'm going to go ahead and hide the sidebar here. So the welcome message basically gives you an overview of, how the class is organized and what my expectations are. The syllabus is kind of important. It's my contract with you as far as how this class is going to be run. And so we've got the textbook in here, the software that we're going to be using, the learning outcomes. So by the end of the semester, you will know how to do everything that's listed here. The grading information. So we have 1,000 points in this course, and this is how the grades break down. And then how do you get points in this course? This little table shows you. So these are point breakdowns for the various types of assignments and quizzes that we have. And then below that is more information on those assignments and quizzes. Okay, and so I encourage you to read through all of this because it does indicate, how we're going to communicate in this class, what the class policies are, what the department policies are, and all of that. Then we have the college syllabus. So that is the same for every single course. If you look at the college syllabus in one class, you really don't need to look at it again because it's the same in every course. The assignment schedule is something that you are going to want to print because it outlines week by week what we're going to cover, and it matches what you see at the top of each block in our course. Okay, so what you see under here for course information and orientation is going to match what you see here. Okay, and then for the lesson 1, what you see here is going to match up. Okay, so what I tell students is to print this out, and then as you complete things, you can cross them off. And that way you can kind of keep track of where you're at and you don't miss anything. So once you print that, then you're getting into a couple of graded assignments. The first one is the student profile glossary. And this is that spotlight section. So how do you do that? You can click on this and then add a new entry. And the concept is going to be your first and last name. You're going to have to upload a picture. Okay, so you'll say upload a file. You'll have to choose a file from your system. Okay, give it a name and upload it. Okay, and once you do that, okay, then you can add it to the profile glossary. Now it's going to come in huge, and we do not want it to be that big because that little spotlight section is not big enough for a monster size picture. So what you need to do for size is change the width to 150 or 200. And then just press tab and it'll keep the height in proportion. Okay, and then you'll need to put some alternative text up here for people that have screen readers, and then you save the image. Okay, and then below that image, you will include a sentence or two about yourself, or you could do a quote, or you can do hashtags that are descriptive of you. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and save, And once you do that, you will be added to the glossary. And as more students do that, every single time you come into our class, you are going to see a different student listed. In fact, if you refresh your browser, each time you refresh, you'll see a different student. So that is worth points. So that's the first assignment that you have. The second one is a discussion exercise. And for this, you're going to provide a little more information. You can see I have an example, but I would like to know your nickname, any hobbies you have, what your major or program of study is, and then any additional information that you want to share. So you'll just add a new discussion topic. Okay, and put your little subject there and whatever message you want to share and post it. And as you can see, I did an example, and I use this as an opportunity to give you a little information about my own background and things that I like to do. And so you can kind of read through there and learn a little bit more about me. Okay, and this discussion is also worth points. So you want to make sure that you complete that. Okay, and that is pretty much it for the orientation activities. Then we get into the first lesson. So this corresponds to the first chapter in the book. And you'll notice that we don't read the entire chapter. We read specific pages because the chapters are really long and they're much longer than what I would normally cover in a week. So we kind of pick and choose what we're going to look at. This first chapter is kind of giving you an overview of web development. So you're going to read the pages in the book, and then I've got a little lecture on that you can read through. Okay, and so once you get done reading through that, you can take the web development quiz. Now, what happens if you haven't gotten the book yet? You should be able to answer the quiz using the lecture material. Make sure you're using the lecture material or the book. Do not Google for the answers. It is an open book, open note quiz. And there's no time limit on it. Okay, so you certainly have plenty of time to look everything up in the book or the lecture material. But as I said, I don't expect everybody to have the book. So, just finding the answers here in the lecture material is fine. You should do well on that quiz. Okay, so that's pretty much it for work that you need to turn in that's worth points. Once you finish the quiz, there are some software programs that you need to install to prepare you for next week. Because next week, we're actually going to start creating web pages. So the first thing that you need to install is VS Code. So that is Visual Studio Code. This is free. Most developers in the industry are using VS Code. It is an industry standard. And if you click on the link, you can see that you can download it for free. So you'll download and install that. If you are not familiar with downloading and installing software, please come into my live stream hours because I can walk you through that process. In addition to VS Code, you're also going to download FileZilla. FileZilla is the program that we're going to use to get the pages that you create from your computer to the web server. So they're going to put your pages on the internet, basically. So this is a free program. If you click on the link, you can download and install that as well. And then finally, as far as the web browsers go, you should have more than one installed. So if you click on this, it has links to the more popular ones. Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Microsoft Edge, those are all pretty popular. And then Safari. You cannot install Safari on a Windows machine anymore, but the other ones you can. You can have more than one installed, and you can run multiple browsers at a time. And it is important to check your pages on the different browsers, especially when we get into doing CSS styling, because sometimes the pages look different in the different browsers. Okay, so make sure you download the software, and then you will be well set up for next week. As far as a web host goes, you do not need to worry about getting a web host for this class because I have a web account and I will be adding accounts for you guys in my own domain. So I have access to the administrative access to a server, and I will be adding your own accounts. Usually at the end of week 1, I will email the information that you need to transfer your pages that you create to the web server. I wait until the end of the first week because if I send it too early, students tend to delete it because they don't know what it is. So I will be sending you that information that you need to connect, but you aren't going to get it until the end of the first week. If you run into problems or you have any questions at all, please let me know because I am here to help you. Have an awesome week, and I am really looking forward to a great semester.